In terms of the snowfall, when are we getting rid of this stuff? Well, we still got several hours of this. You notice how as we go through time, we really ramped up those snowfall rates last night, 1 to 2 inches per hour at times. What's going to take over here the rest of the morning is this band right here. This is the backside of the storm system. This band will continue to produce some lake effect moisture with it, as well as some system moisture. We call that lake enhancement. So we're not done yet. This will likely swing through Medina, Wayne, even downtown Cleveland over the next couple hours. This system continues to wind up. We are on the sweet spot of this storm. That's right in here on the backside of that low. We really cranked out the moisture, and boy, did it come down for a good while last night. Still coming down in spots. Holly's got the forecast, not just the rest of the day, but some more cold air and more snow on the way this week.
When you say it was coming down, it was that kind, because I think we all slept with one eye open, right?
Right.
And it was the kind of snow that you literally could hear, almost like a snow rain.
It was wonderful if you're
Right?
not out in it.
Woo! All right, so yeah, heaviest snow's tapering off. We've got the lake effect. That'll be a little bit later today. Windy with blowing and drifting snow, obviously an issue. And we've been repeating ourselves and emphasizing, if you really don't have to go out today, and maybe some of you have a long weekend because your kids are out and you took the day, probably best to just, you know what? Just make it a cozy one, and something in the crock pot for later on, and just go for it. Winter storm warnings continue till 4 o'clock unless the Weather Service decides to let that expire earlier. There's that band that Matt was just talking about on the back edge of this. We're still seeing a lot of heavy snow this morning. Temperatures are cold, but in a seasonal sense for this time of the day. We're in the 20s, but the wind chills, that's the thing. It's so windy, and wind chills are in the teens and single digits, and winds will be blustery all day long. We're 15 to about 30 miles an hour sustained right now. We could see wind gusts as high as 40 throughout today. Timeline. So by late morning, the system snow will taper. Then we'll get into just a blustery rest of the day, and that's when we'll start to see the lake effect take over too. And you can see the system here in its entirety. And it was really textbook as far as, you know, from our computer forecast model runs and keeping this thing honest with us over the past week as we've been tracking. So that all being said, as far as totals, and thank you already for those of you that are posting what you have on the ground and are waking up to, we'll be adding to. But in general, I mean, in most locations, we're talking upwards of 8 to 10 to 12 inches of snow in spots. So it definitely is impressive. And on our National Design Mart hour by hour forecast, we stop the clock at 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Notice at that point, the system snow is really starting to pull away. And then we get into these scattered lake effect snow showers throughout the afternoon. So that's not going to impact all of you, obviously, but we'll continue to see that as we head into tonight and even the start of your Tuesday. So we will be adding a few more snowflakes, and we're going to keep it pretty seasonal for tomorrow. I know you've been hearing about this bitter cold, and ironically, after all this snow, we'll be forecasting rain and snow with another system midweek, and it's behind this one that we see some frigid, bitter cold air as we round out the work and school week. And you can notice that that air really drops southward into northeast Ohio by Thursday. Here's your Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook, and yeah, those numbers, I mean, from 20s, which is going to feel like a picnic compared to Thursday, to 30s and upper 30s to near 40 Wednesday. Cold front moves through. We're only up to 18 on Thursday for the high, Dave. That's the high. And it'll be a single digit, around 10-degree start on Friday.
Wow, 18. All right. As we said earlier, what a week.